Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. We are live and amplified here at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. Johnny Nunez, our fearless director behind the scenes. Thanks for joining us tonight. We got a big show for you, including Yucaipa High School baseball pitcher Owen Egan, one of the top high school pitchers anywhere. This guy is going to the UCLA Bruins. But first, trying to guide Yucaipa to a CIF Southern Section Division I championship. Wild win for the Thunderbirds against another great program, Citrus Valley, this past weekend at the County Clash. So we got a lot to talk about with Owen Egan coming up a little bit later. And then Redlands East Valley softball coach Brandon Ford, the former head coach at Redlands High School. Yes, now he's at Rev. He's wearing red, and he's got a good group of Wildcats trying to make a playoff push. So we'll talk to Coach Ford as well. And at the end of the show, we'll got a little snapshot of our interview. You can find it on IEMG, but a little bit of our interview with Arroyo Valley new head football coach TJ Stanford. And he comes from 29 Palms, and 29 Palms is a football team that went to the CIF Southern Section semifinals last season. Now he's at Arroyo. Can he do the same thing with the Arroyo Valley Hawks? And speaking of football, that's our first guest on tonight's show. He is a local legend, formerly of Kaiser High School. He went on to BYU. We're talking about running back Tyler Allgeier from Kaiser, and this guy went to BYU as a linebacker. And they put him back at running back. He played both at Kaiser, but we know him as a running back from his Kaiser days. But BYU's like, you know what, we're going to put you back at running back. Let's see how you do. Well, he became one of the great running backs in the entire nation, setting a BYU single-season record. He ran for over 1,800 yards in one season. Of course, the all-time career record holder for rushing yards at BYU is another Fontana guy, Jamal Williams, who was just at BYU not too long ago, went on to the NFL, the Packers, and then the Lions. So BYU likes our Fontana guys. What can you say, right, at the running back position? So Tyler Allgeier, here's our exclusive interview with him talking about advice he's getting about entering the NFL draft. Guys like Sione Takitaki, a former BYU guy from Heritage High School. And he's got BYU Pro Day. If you're watching this live and amplified, BYU Pro Day is on Friday, so he'll be working out in front of all those NFL scouts. Here's our interview with the great Tyler Allgeier.
Now join us here on the show. He is the pride of Kaiser High School, the great Tyler Allgeier, finishing up his career at BYU to head to the NFL. And Tyler, I know you just had the NFL Combine. The NFL draft is about a month away or so. Do you think about what the experts are saying? Do you read stuff online? Do you just try to worrying about your own business and what you need to do to become a better football player?
No, I low-key just try to worry about my own business, just really just taking it day by day, what I can work on each day, just to put myself, get myself each day better. Just day by day, especially preparing for our Pro Day. That's like the icing on the cake right there.
Yeah, Pro Day, March 25th, right, at BYU coming up for you?
Yes, sir.
Are you excited about that? I mean, because that's another opportunity, right, to kind of convince some scouts and some NFL teams that you're the real deal.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, that's the plan. Shoot.
Tyler, I wanted to ask you, I think there was a reporter at the Combine. Somebody asked you if you'd be willing to play linebacker again in the NFL. And listen, there's a home for you in the NFL as a running back. But you said, hey, whatever it takes, right? Linebacker, running back, whatever it takes. But what's your thoughts on maybe playing multiple positions?
Yeah, I'm doing whatever the team needs. I'm willing to do, especially I played really everywhere in BYU. I played running back, played my share at special teams, all phases, and then had my share at defense as well. But running backs home right now. But just be willing to do whatever that's for the team.
Tyler, when you look back on the last 2 or 3 seasons at BYU. Do you even surprise yourself about, you made a position switch, and then not only did you make a position switch, but you became one of the top running backs in the entire country. Did you know that, you had that inside yourself, or were you surprised maybe even a little bit?
Honestly, really thinking about it is kind of crazy, especially just the journey that I've been a part of. But really, it's just, I honestly just take things day by day, whatever happens. You can't control. Just control what you can control, and everything will end up playing its part.
We're talking with Tyler Allgeier, of course, from Kaiser High School. And Tyler, when a local guy like yourself, you're on the national stage playing for a big time program like BYU, you're on the verge of going to the NFL. Folks like us back in the Inland Empire, man, we're so proud of guys like you, who make it big. What do you think it says about just representing the Inland Empire, representing the IE, representing Fontana? When you go to places like BYU, like you're going to the NFL, do you feel like in a way, like you're telling other kids from the IE, like, dude, I did it, you can do it too? Like, what do you think that message is for a guy like you who's making it and doing big things?
Yeah, especially with my story, coming as a preferred walk-in, just taking that chance. But it all started with shout out Coach Cardoso. He always believed in me, and all the Kaiser staff, all the Kaiser football staff. Everyone believed in me, especially with my family support system. Literally just betting on yourself, and just putting my head down, and then just going, just taking it day by day. Like I said, putting my head down and just working hard, which really just got me to where I am today. Just trust yourself and believe in yourself. And I think that's really the thing that kids these days should keep in their heart.
Absolutely. Tyler, look, I'll ask you this question before the NFL draft. Who was your favorite NFL team growing up? Did you have a favorite team or maybe a favorite player?
I was more players. Yeah, I was a favorite player guy. I was a big fan because of my grandpa. Rest in peace to my gramps, but he was a Colts fan. He was a Colts fan, so whenever he'll be like, "Hey T-Bone, who's on or who's gonna win, like Colts or whoever," and they'll be all like, "Hey, we'll go with the Colts," But I've watched a lot of Marshawn Lynch, and a handful of players. So,
have you thought about what that moment is going to feel like when you hear your name called? Or I don't know if you're going to be with family and friends, or you're going to be watching the draft or following it online or whatever. But have you thought about what that moment might be like?
Nah, sure. I haven't thought about it yet. Just trying to focus on today. Trying to focus on today. It's coming up soon, but I just got to finish what I started. Just check. Hopefully, just get drafted.
Tyler, as you get ready for an NFL career, does it feel almost, or at least similar to when you left high school and got ready for BYU in terms of, I got to prove myself all over again? Like, it's not the fact that I've made it to the NFL. It's like, now that I've made it, I got to prove that I belong here, and I'm worthy to be here. Does it feel almost the same way as you make this next transition in your football career?
Sure, I believe so. Because now, like everyone, like you can have a couple guys good in high school, and then college, like everyone's good. But now this is like straight professional. So, like really any man who has the knowledge to play the game can play. But now you're just competing for that top spot, and it's competing to get reps. Like a team's not going to waste money on you if like they don't believe in you or they don't see nothing in you. So it's just putting your head down and then just working and making sure that whoever ends up drafting you, like, made sure that they made that great choice.
There's been some other great BYU players who have gone into the NFL. Of course, Jamal Williams, another running back from Fontana, who's played a number of seasons now in the NFL. But are there any guys, I don't know if they're former BYU players or not, but any guys who were in the NFL that you've had a chance to maybe get advice or tips from, like about this process of getting ready for the draft and getting ready for a professional career? Anyone that you've been able to lean on a little bit like that?
Yeah, so I talked to a handful of running backs, really. I talked to Chuba Hubbard. I actually talked to Jamal Williams as well. And then just a couple of the BYU alum guys like Shone Taki, like Harvey Longy and all of that. They gave me a lot of great insight, just preparing and just being ready for this next step, next chapter of my life.
What were some of those, suggestions or advice that they gave you about making that transition from college football to, NFL life?
Yeah, shoot. Just right when you get there, just get in that playbook. The faster you learn the playbook, it's just like college. The faster you learn the playbook, the faster that the coaches will get to trust you, especially if you're performing on the field.
As you look ahead to the NFL and, playing football, for a living, as a job, as your profession, was that always the dream, Tyler? Like, or, was it something that maybe the last 2 years at BYU, you're like, okay, this feels like more like a reality right now?
Yeah, shoot. It was always a dream, but it was always a dream, but I always had goals that I wanted to set that could, like, go towards that dream. Yeah, go towards that dream, if that makes sense. So, just now it's just, shoot, it's coming real now. Shoot, all my hard work and dedication, so many hours of just perfecting the craft, is actually coming to life. Glory to God and everyone that's been like behind my back and everything. So.
All right, Tyler, we'll wrap it up like this. You mentioned BYU Pro Day coming up. That is March 25th, depending on when people are watching this interview, but it's March 25th. But beyond that, the next couple of weeks leading up to the NFL draft, what does it look like for you? Are you at a private training center just trying to make sure your body's ready for an NFL season? Like, what are some things that you're doing right now leading up to the draft?
Yeah, shoot, yeah, just literally just came back from training for bench, and then I'm doing bench at Pro Day as well. So training for bench, and then just hit some running back drills with my running back coach that's right now. So just putting the icing on the cake, getting everything ready before I head to Utah, and then just give a performance.
Well, Tyler, listen, man, we are all rooting for you back here in the Inland Empire, Fontana, everywhere across the IE, man. We're excited for you, and we can't wait for that draft day to come up, a couple of days of the NFL draft. So best of luck, Tyler.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
And that was the great Tyler Allgeier, formerly of Kaiser High School, now at BYU, getting ready to enter the NFL draft after an incredible BYU career with the Cougars, one of the all-time greats now at running back for them. All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. We're going to talk some baseball. The Yucaipa Thunderbirds are going to check in. It was a wild win against Citrus Valley at the County Clash. Now the T-Birds trying to finish off a Citrus Belt League title and make that deep push in the Division I playoffs coming up, which will be right around the corner now. So we'll be back here on your favorite show. It's the Inland Sports Show.
What up, guys? Boost May here at the Boost Performance Center. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
This segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been #1 in the Inland Empire, providing team uniforms, sports equipment, Letterman jackets, and more. Visit them off Hamner in Norco or online at kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Join Ray Bass and his experienced coaching staff for sports training to become bigger, stronger, and faster. Athletes from all sports, boys and girls, are welcome. Plus, learn more about the Bass Private School at boosttrainingsystems.com. And Danny's Pizza in Yucaipa. Looking for the best pizza in the Inland Empire? Look no more. You'll find it at Danny's Pizza off of Yucaipa Boulevard. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get 20% off your next order. So the next time you're ordering pizza for your family or maybe your entire team, make sure it's Danny's Pizza. What's up, guys? We're back here at the Boost Performance Center with the Boost man himself, Ray Bass, with another gridiron question. And Coach Bass, this time, maybe there's parents out there, they have a son or daughter who they're totally into sports, extremely passionate about a specific sport, but maybe they're not the most talented. What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them that, first off, you want to set realistic expectations on what's best for your child. It kills me when I see kids who they want to opt out of certain positions just because they don't want to play whatever it is, that position, whatever it could possibly be. Having those realistic expectations, you may not have the flexibility to play what you want if you're not necessarily as talented. So, first thing parents want to do is help your child set realistic expectations of what can they be the best at based on their current skill level. Secondly is, and this is not about really talent, but you always want to develop a relentless work ethic with your kids, because at the end of the day, that's always going to be more of an asset than talent ever will. So, and that's whether or not you could be talented, not talented. That work ethic is so it's so valuable. So set realistic expectations, develop a relentless work ethic.
Yeah, I know you're always preaching about effort. And if you've got a question out there for the Boost man, make sure you hit us up on social media, Boost Training, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, correct?
Absolutely.
You're all over the place. That is the Boost man, Ray Bass, here with another gridiron question here at the Boost Performance Center. Chargers have been getting it done, especially on the defensive side of the football here in free agency. They pick up Khalil Mack. He's going to be a wrecking ball at linebacker. And they get J.C. Jackson from the Patriots. So the Chargers are probably like, okay, we like our offense enough. We got to go against Mahomes. We got to go against Russell Wilson. We got to go against Derek Carr. We've got to make sure our defense is ready to go, and let's get it cracking. So they bring in two huge names in Mack and Jackson. A quick shout out to one of our local guys. He was a starting safety for the New Orleans Saints, Marcus Williams from Roosevelt High School in Eastville, going to the Baltimore Ravens. 5 years, $70 million for our guy Marcus Williams from Roosevelt High School in Eastville. Man, that's a good chunk of change.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Check out Inland Sports every Monday and Thursday morning on KCal Rocks 96.7 FM with my guys, Patrick and Fordy. Now let's talk some high school baseball. We are at the County Clash at San Manuel Stadium this past Saturday. We had some great games. The nightcap, it was a wild one. Yucaipa and Citrus Valley, the T-Birds came out on top 2-0 the final score. Now Yucaipa, one of the top-ranked teams in Division I, making a push for a Citrus Belt League title. And then after that, of course, a long run in the Division I playoffs. Joining us from the T-Birds, we got head coach Ralph Grajeda, one of his star players, Owen Egan as well. And guys, first off, that was a great win against Citrus Valley, who is coming off a CIF title in D5. Coach, the 2 runs coming on a wild pitch, I guess at the end of the day, doesn't matter, right? As long as you can push across at least one run, a win's a win is a win.
We saw some crazy stuff in the preseason PBR tournament. So for us, I thought it was kind of an extension of that. The kids did a really good job. They stayed in the saddle the entire game. So it was a wild game for sure.
Baseball is a funny game like that. Do you ever sit back and like, man, we're finding ways to win. Didn't need a clean RBI. Like it was just a wild pitch and heads up play by Jacob Reimer, right, to come all the way around from second to bring in that second run.
Yeah.
But I mean, baseball's a funny game like that.
Just find ways to win, man. All the runs count. So I mean, sometimes you have to generate offense different ways, and sometimes you just base run well and have different reads or better reads, and that's kind of how that went. And then we just threw a bunch of goose eggs up there, and our guy Owen right there did a fantastic job of doing that. I mean, he's been doing that last couple of outings, so it was good. And like I said before, I felt our kids were pretty prepared for that game.
All right, I'm going to go to Owen in just a second. Owen, if you can remember to turn your camera so we can get it sideways here to bring you on the show. Coach, what do you think makes Owen a special guy? He said he's a two-way player on the mound, at the plate. What makes Owen a special guy?
He's got a lot of experience. I mean, he's got a lot of USA baseball experience, and he's played at a really high level at a young age. As he's played for me as a freshman, obviously he's one of the best players in his class in the state of California and nationally. So I think a lot of it, he's got poise. He doesn't get overwhelmed in the moment too much, and you saw that Saturday night. There was a thought when we had bases loaded to pull him, but I also know that it's kind of the same feeling when I had Tyson Heaton on the mound. You trusted that, and for us, we're going to let it ride, and we're going to let him own it, and he did, and he stepped up and did a great job, and that's a great omen for us. And like I said, there's shades of Tyson Heaton in it, and I'm excited as a coach to see that.
Yeah, to be compared to Tice Heaton, that's a great comparison. There's Owen on the far end, and Owen, yeah, you're in a jam, but did you feel like, hey, coach has confidence in me. He's going to leave me out there. He's going to let me work out of this. And obviously you got the job done. Do you embrace those moments, even when times are tough, to just, get the job done for your team?
Yeah, it's always good when your coach has faith in you and trusts you. And I was really trusting my off-speed pitches, so I felt comfortable in that situation. And I really, really tried to get weak contact and strikeouts to prevent the runs, and that's what ended up happening. So I trusted my stuff and just worked out of the jam.
Now, I love Citrus Belt League baseball, man. It's a high level. There's so many great players, so many great coaches. Owen, let me go back to you on this one. Beating Citrus Valley, that's an important game for you. I feel like it's almost a rivalry now at this point because they've had success. You guys have had success. I mean, it's a big deal, right, when you guys play the Blackhawks?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a big rivalry. It's probably one of our biggest series in the CBL. We always want to sweep them. We want to do the most we can. We just want to win against them, and we definitely don't want to lose. So it's definitely a big rivalry.
So, Coach, you get past Citrus Valley, and now obviously you got the rest of your CBL schedule still to come, and then the Division I playoffs. I asked you this question before, and I'm going to ask it again right now because you are one of the top-ranked teams right now in the latest CIF Southern Section Division I poll. Do you put much value in that right now, or do you look at the other teams like inside the top 10, or do you just kind of focus on whoever's next in league play or whoever might be up next?
Well, I mean, I know for me, we're just trying to win one game at a time. The goal is to win our league first and then go from there. But I also know if we take care of business at the end of the year, we're going to be in that top 10. So I mean, I keep an eye on it. Being in that CIF top 10 is important, but I think being a league champion is takes precedent over it. We've got a lot of things, great tournaments that we're involved in, the USA Baseball, Boris Classic, and a great PBR tournament that we just did. But at the end of the day, being a league champion for me is the most important thing.
Coach, we talked about, Owen being in that tough spot with the bases loaded and, winning a game 2-zip on a 2-run wild pitch. Do you feel like those moments throughout the season kind of build that character, build this team so it's ready for a Division I postseason run, like to find a way to win those close games and to work out of a tough spot when the bases are loaded? Like, that's going to pay dividends when you guys get to the Division I playoffs and you're playing, I don't know, Santa Margarita or whoever. You can pick whoever you want. But you know what I mean? Like those moments kind of build that character of this team.
No, we've been grinding. I mean, if you not to take away from Saturday's game, that was a great game and on both sides. I just think in the preseason tournament that we did at PBR, not to keep harping on it, we played Chaminade. We played them 12 or 13 innings, and I had one guy come in and throw six innings, and I had two guys, Carter Elliott and Peyton Von Canel. I think they struck out 17 guys, and the guy on the mound that we saw was up to 93 with a hammer, and we saw him. We were able to beat Chaminade. We beat Harvard Westlake in a walk-off. I mean, at the time, they were the number 1 team in the state. So, and then we saw a really good right-handed arm at Maricosta, and that's a very good high school baseball program. So, for us, we've been grinding quite a bit. So when our kids get into that situation, they've got some experience to draw from, let alone last year as well. So I feel the more and more things that we get into, more and more games like this, that they're just going to be battle ready. I mean, it showed on Saturday night. So I truly feel you need to get out of your comfort zone and schedule tough teams. That's just my personal opinion, but so far in our program, it prepares our kids for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me, Coach. I'm going to go back to Owen on this one. A baseball friend of mine who follows high school baseball very closely says, hey, man, Owen, he's living in the 90s, and he didn't mean Saved by the Bell and New Kids on the Block. He meant like he is consistently throwing in the 90s. Owen, what are you touching right now? What are you topping out at?
Fully stretched, a good day, probably 92, 93, but I usually sit around 89, 90, 91, around there. And I usually stay consistent in that range.
And Owen, I know you're a UCLA baseball commit. If I was going to ask you what you preferred to do for the Bruins at the next level, on the mound, at the plate, like what would you say? Or do you want to try to do both? Maybe your next Shohei Ohtani, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do both. That's the goal, but John Savage is one of the best pitching coaches in the nation, so he'll definitely make me a better pitcher, and I see me going a long way if I continue pitching at UCLA.
All right, Coach, let's wrap it up like this. Finish this sentence for me. The Yucaipa Thunderbirds have a chance to win the CIF Southern Section Division I championship if they do this.
Keep grinding. Just keep grinding and picking each other up. They're doing a great job.
Finding ways to win. The great Owen Egan, Coach Grajeda. Guys, thank you so much for your time. You're always so gracious and generous with your time. So, Coach, thank you again for hopping on this show. And I'll probably bug you again. I got a feeling you guys are going to be playing deep into, through May and into June. I got a good feeling about you guys again. So
we'll check in with you when we go to North Carolina as well. So.
Oh, that's right. The USA Baseball, that Cary, North Carolina, right? So.
First part of April, yep.
Let's do it. That's the T-Birds, everybody. Coach Grajeda, Owen Egan here on the show. Thank you, guys, and best of luck the rest of the season. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Bud. Thank you.
All right, that's Yucaipa High School baseball here on the Inland Sports Show. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk a little softball with the skipper for Redlands East Valley. Actually, Brandon Ford's going to check in when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep Man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep Man. You guys rock!
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
What up, y'all? Coach Bass here, going to break you with another quick 2 cents. What's great about focusing on effort is that when it's applied often, it becomes a habit. Putting in great effort starts to extend beyond sports and becomes a state of mind. Once you start to see how far effort takes you in athletics, you can only imagine how far it'll take you in life. This is why I coach effort, because if I can get you to work incredibly hard for me, I can get you to work incredibly hard for yourself. Boost man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your support over the last several years. In fact, we're going on year number 8 of the Inland Sports Show. It has certainly changed and evolved over the years, and you guys have been along for the entire journey. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We're on social media, so if you're already following us or subscribing, great. But you can also tell your teammates, your people at school, your family, your friends. There's the Inland Sports YouTube channel, approaching 2 million views. We got several thousand subscribers. We appreciate it. And make sure you share with other folks who might not be subscribing. Same goes for Twitter. We're on Twitter as well. And if you're looking for immediate results, breaking news, we post pictures and shorter videos. Check us out on Twitter. That's inland_sports on Twitter. And we're also on Facebook. Yeah, we're still doing Facebook. In fact, we live stream the Inland Sports Show on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can check it out there live on Wednesday nights at 6:05 p.m. We're also on the Gram, the IG. If you want to see pictures and shorter videos from a lot of the games and events that we go to, you can check it out on Instagram. So if you support us by following along on social media, thank you so much. And if you'd like to take that to the next level, Inland Sports also has a Venmo account. If you'd like to financially support the show, you appreciate the service we provide to the IE, you can do that as well. Again, this is just an opportunity to say thank you to all you guys out there who follow the Inland Sports Show. You watch the Inland Sports Show each and every week. Thank you guys so much, and the best is yet to come.
The 1-0 pitch, laying down the bunt, gets it, throws it the first, misses the throw, the winning run's coming in and score, and that's going to be the ball game for the Cajon Cowboys on a crucial error by the third baseman, missing the throw to first base, and that's going to do it for the Cowboys on a walk-off error.
That was my guy, Jacob Pedroza, on the call on IEMG. We had that game live, Cajon and Beaumont baseball Saturday at the County Clash. Cajon winning in 9 innings. You saw it on that throwing error to first base, brought home the winning run. Big win for Cajon. The entire game right now is on the IE Media Group YouTube channel. Now we go from baseball to softball. We got the head coach for Redlands East Valley, Coach Brandon Ford. And Coach Ford, I don't remember the last time. I know you've done it on my show before, but I think it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a long time. It's been over a decade, Pep.
It's been way too long. And the last time we probably talked, you were wearing Terrier blue. Now you got the red on of Redlands East Valley. You know, my first question right out of the gate, Coach, is, you know, you had a special thing going at Redlands High School. Now you're at Rev trying to duplicate it, you know, and build up the Wildcats again. What's fun about the challenge of, you know, putting your stamp on a program and trying to, you know, get it to a level that you're satisfied with?
Yeah, you know, Pep, it was really hard to leave Redlands High School. The school meant a lot to me. The program meant a lot to me. I put in 18 years there as the head coach, and I really kind of built that thing out of with the coaches with me, you know, kind of out of nothing, and turned us into a perennial powerhouse in the CBL and in the section. You know, we got to the semifinals and lost those heartbreakers. You know, but we were just really proud of what we built there. You know, we got 47 kids to college in those 18 years, and all our kids were awesome on campus. You know, in the community. You know, all the off season, the summer, the winter clinics, and all that stuff that we did to make it work. It took a lot, you know, but I was really happy with what I built there. It kind of becomes one of those things where, you know, I turned down some other places over the years trying to want me to go somewhere. And I was so loyal to Redlands. And, you know, every year you feel like you have a class, you have another class, you got to see them through. Yeah. But in the end, if you don't ever, you know, make that move, you're never going to do it. And you know, it was hard leaving the group I had to leave. But, you know, I've always looked at Rev as this a sleeping giant, you know, and Coach Garcia had it going. You know, she used to coach with me, and she got it going there. And, you know, in 2018, they got to the finals. And you know, when she left, it was, you know, I didn't go. I thought, you know, this is a great time to go, but I didn't do it, you know, and Coach Crumrine came in for a couple of years. And after that, I'm like, you know what, like I got to go now, you know, and I wanted to take that jump. And it was really hard, you know, because you build such a relationship with the kids on campus, the alumni that would come by for lunch or clinics, camps, you know, and you truly, you know, the texts I got afterwards, none of them were upset. They all, you know, were shocked and all supported me, you know, because, you know, we kind of built this us against them thing over there, and now you're joining them, you know. So it's been weird. I literally didn't have a single thing of red in my wardrobe. So my wife, you know, I had to get her on Amazon and start getting some red and black shorts and shirts and whatnot. But you know, I'm excited to be over there at Rev. I'm excited to build something new with a new group of kids and be on campus and just try to you know, be who we're going to be and install a program over there that'll win on the field, but will win in the classroom, will win in the community, be blue collar in how we approach things, and just get these. My biggest goal is to get these young ladies ready for the next level. I want them to be successful in life and in college. So that's what we're trying to do.
Coach, in my book, that the Redlands versus Rev rivalry is the best or one of the best in the Inland Empire, football, softball, whatever the sport. So I'm sure, jumping from Redlands to Rev probably took a lot of people by surprise. But, on top of going to your rival, you're making this move during COVID, during all this other stuff. I mean, what was that like? Because your first season as the head coach of the Wildcats was, a funky year. I'm glad we had high school sports, but here you are trying to get a team ready in your first season at Rev. Yeah,
it was weird, because it was really weird because I knew the job was going to open up in the summer, but it didn't. But it never flew, so it didn't end up flying till late September. So we're already into school, the next year, and I've already got my 6th period class with the girls from Redlands High, and I'm coaching them online, like I'm their coach, and it ended up being like early October before I interviewed for it. And I didn't apply right away. I thought about it. And then I contacted the athletic director, Rhonda Fouch, and just said, I heard you guys are looking for a coach. And I kind of beat around the bush, and, she told me I looked very good in red. And I said, well, maybe. And I talked to my wife and whatnot. And it was a weird year, 2020, right? It was weird. We welcomed our second son into this world, Luke. And so that was chaos. If kids, oh my God. So you have COVID happening. Your kid just gets born during, the height of the beginning of COVID. All the world's going in apocalypse. We decided to move. Right. So we moved in August of 2020. And, it's just like so much chaos is going on. Like, why not? Why not now, throw another wrench in there, another iron in the stove and just go for it. Because everything's already chaotic and crazy. And, if you're going to try to do it anytime, and my little 2-year-old's coming in.
That's all right. We're a family show. Bring it on.
Yeah. So, it seemed like if you're ever going to do it, you're going to do it right now.
Who is Coach? You got to introduce Buzz Lightyear's little friend over there.
Come here, Luke. Come here. Yeah, this is Luke. Yeah. So honestly, him being born was part of say hi.
What's up, Luke? Hey. How's it going, Luke? Where's Buzz Lightyear? Where did Buzz go?
Where'd Buzz go? Is Buzz behind me? No, where Buzz? You drop Buzz? No, yeah, he's all about Buzz right now. He's all about Buzz.
So am I.
But it seemed like, yeah, he's born. Like, why not? It seemed like it's time to do something crazy. So
you're like, hey, a pandemic doesn't matter. Let's move. Let's have a baby. Yeah. Let's take a new job. Let's just as much disruption as we can do. Let's go for it.
Honestly, in my life, Pep, it's a chaos of order. There's always like so many things going on and things happen and why not? I feel like I kind of operate the best when things are kind of hectic, I guess.
No, I get that. I think I'm the same way too. When I have too much time on my hands, I feel like I hardly get anything done. I'm not as productive. Right. But when I got like a million things going on, I feel like I'm staying up late, getting up early, getting all this stuff done and doing it well. So I totally get that. So Coach, here you are in year 2. Does it feel more comfortable? Does it feel more normal? Like, hey, okay, and now I can kind of see like we're building something. We're trending in the right direction. It's looking good right now.
Yeah, last year was so hard because these girls, they know me, they know the Redlands High School version of me and their opinions, as the rival of me and, and parents and whatnot. And so it was really weird last year. And, COVID happens and I'm teaching at Redlands and then I'm coming over. I actually gave up a prep period so I could teach a full load. So I'd come over to Rev and teach the 6th period over there. So I was good nonstop going. And, that helped a little bit, but, you're trying to build a plane as you're flying at that point. I lost a lot of kids that didn't come back because, COVID or couldn't get on campus because of COVID, didn't feel safe because of COVID, or just didn't feel like playing softball that year. Other stuff's happening, and the program had a couple really down years and some kids, that might have gone there and ended up choosing to go other places, so you're really trying to come in and install your principles about like who, what this program is going to stand for and who we are. But also like those girls, they haven't had me and my passion, my intensity and how I kind of run things. So, it was a big culture shock for them, and I learned I had to kind of adapt my coaching style a little bit so I could win these kids over. I mean, you can't come at them just throwing fastballs right away. If you do, you're not going to win them. And you can't get anything done unless the kids buy into you. And so that's the hardest thing, is it took me half a year, maybe 3/4 of the year, really, before my girls really bought into me. The parents were excited because they were getting a real coach in there that in an established program and all this stuff, and administration was pumped. But, I was in one foot at one school, in one foot at the other. And it was hard. And, everything that I do from like responsibilities after the games and before the games, everybody has jobs of what you take to the game, what you do after the game. Everybody has preparation things are responsible for during games, after games, practice regimens, practice routines. And it was a lot for people to handle, but we powered through it and it's set up this year. So, I mean, we're not where we want to be by any means, but we're making steps in that right direction. We're establishing culture. We're building the building blocks for what's going to be an established program. And I love what we're doing so far, and I love the kids that I have, and even the seniors that kind of went through some dark times, and I got a little bit of them last year, and the full year this year to the incoming kids. It's been awesome, and we're a very young program. We only have 5 seniors in the whole program, no juniors, so we're very young. We got a lot of work to do, but we're definitely heading in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely from year 1 to year 2, at least, record wise, you can see you guys are, going in the right direction. And Coach, you mentioned your players, and it sounds like you've got a couple, battle-tested seniors, so you guys can, try to win right now, but a lot of young players too, so you're also, building for the future and future seasons. Is that exciting as a head coach that you're like, hey guys, we're competitive right now, we're going to go out and win some games, and then you're also getting these younger players some experience that, next year and the year after, you guys are going to be in pretty good shape?
Absolutely. And last year the girls thought I was crazy because, I film games and I break them down for them. And we have this website that we use, and they're like, I have scouting reports for them for the game. And I break all this stuff down, and they thought I was crazy, but after about like the 4th league game, they started like realizing, man, this, like what he's saying is what they did. He knows what he's saying. There's a method to the madness, and this year, they understand that a lot more. It's really, last year was this push. Hey, let's try to get the playoffs. Programs get to the playoffs. And we fell a game short. We got Yucaipa twice down the road at the end, but, we lost a game to Cajon, lost a game to RHS that we, should have, could have won. And that cost us. But this year it's coming in. I've been telling them all year, hey, we're going to get put in a good division. Because our record hasn't been great where we were, and we got some talent in here, and we're gonna have a chance, in our division alignment to be scary, But the problem is you got to qualify out of your league, and our league is tough, So the girls understand that. That's been kind of our goal all year, is to try to get to that playoffs, and do what we got to do. And the veterans that we do have, they've never been to the playoffs. And so to end this road with them, getting there would be an amazing thing, but it's going to be really, really hard to do. Yeah. The future is very bright. We got 7 freshmen up on varsity and 4 sophomores and 5 seniors. And, everybody plays a role on our team. And yeah, the future's going to be pretty good. I'm very excited. I love being young because that means, hey, you learn and grow together. And by the time you get these kids to be juniors and seniors, it's like it's a well-oiled machine. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I'm also impatient. I want to get this team there now. I want to get these girls to taste that now. So hopefully we get there, but it'll be tough.
Well, Coach, you mentioned playoffs, about getting to the playoffs. Yeah. So let's wrap it up like this. Let me ask you about the Citrus Belt League, because Beaumont is unbelievable. Yucaipa's always tough. Cajon's got a good squad. I don't leave anybody out, but just the CBL as a whole, do you feel like, hey, guys, if we could just survive the CBL and finish high enough and get to the playoffs, then we can string together a couple wins in CIF and see where this goes. But you got to get through CBL first because, again, CBL is just so tough this year, Coach. Am I wrong? You've been around the CBL a long time.
It's 19 years. I'll tell you, Pep. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. If the CBL has been from 1 to 6, 1 to 5, 6. Of where it's there's no off days, there's no programs where I got this week, I got them this week. Okay, it's a give me. It's not that, and it's so hard now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were ranked 2 last week, we're 4 this week in CIF, and I think we'll finish up there in the top 10. But if you don't qualify 1, 2, 3 in your league, you don't get a guaranteed spot. Then you're begging for a wild card, and you don't have, and the chances of getting that aren't. You're tossing the air. So it's brutal right now. I mean, Beaumont is very, 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 very good. And then you got this Salmon kid, and she can just pitch, and they're loaded. They're gonna be tough for anybody to beat. Yucaipa is just a well-rounded machine. I mean, they got some very good wins in the non-league, and they got 3 different kids they can throw at you and talent. Citrus Valley's record might not look great, but they have played the toughest schedule I've ever seen Citrus Valley play. And they got some good wins in there, and they beat a couple of teams that we lost to. So, I've been around, I've seen them play for a few years, and I know that Coach Finazzo is going to have those girls ready, and, that's tough. Cajon has also got we got Cajon in a tournament this year, but this year already, but, they didn't throw their ace at us, and this kid's really good. Legas for Cajon, she's going. I mean, so you got 2 legit shutdown pitchers in the league, and then you got 2 other teams with just staffs. And then you got us, we pitched to contact a lot, and we had to make plays defensively, and rely on our sticks. And it's tough. And, Redlands has got a lot of offense over there too. And so there's no give-me's, there's no give-me's at all in this league. So yeah, I keep telling these girls, I love our division, love where we're at, but you got to get through the league. And I feel if we can get through the league, then we'll be very, very battle tested and very, in the right place to do some damage in the CIF. If not, you're running that risk of trying to get a wild card, and those things don't always come through.
No, I've seen it enough times in football where a team is ranked like in the top 10 in their division, but they can't finish in first, second, or third in their own league, and they don't even get to the playoffs. That's why I say survive the CBL, which I hope you guys do, but it's tough, man. There's some good softball programs.
It's going to be a tough 5 weeks.
Coach Ford, listen, it has been way too long, man. I appreciate you jumping on the show for a couple minutes. Best of luck to the rest of the season. If you guys get to the playoffs and keep winning games, we'll just have to bring you back.
All right, Pep. That'd be awesome, brother.
That's Brandon Ford, the head softball coach for Redlands East Valley. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, Coach. We appreciate your time. All right, that is Coach Ford here on the show. Before we wrap up this segment, our director, Johnny Nunez, just reminded me we got our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week, and it is back on the softball diamond. It's coming up. It's Great Oak and Murrieta Mesa. Now, this game was already going to be a great game, but on Tuesday, Murrieta Mesa beat Great Oak by a score of 1-0 on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th. All right, so you've got that storyline. They're going to play again on Thursday, and for Murrieta Mesa, this is another huge game because we just found out the Rams actually scheduled too many regular season games, and they will have to forfeit their final 2 league games of the season against Vista Murrieta. So Murrieta Mesa, your defending Southwestern League champion, cannot drop any more league games if they're going to defend their league championship. They're one of the top teams in Division I. But they just got to get to the playoffs, right? Kind of like Redlands East Valley. So this is another big one. Great Oak and Murrieta Mesa coming up on Thursday. That's tomorrow. Murrieta Mesa and Great Oak are Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Big one on the softball diamond from the Southwestern League. We will take one more break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we will check in with the new head football coach for Royal Valley, TJ Stanford, and we got our Big Boost Play of the Week when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken Sporting Goods. Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team? Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals. This segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been #1 in the Inland Empire, providing team uniforms, sports equipment, Letterman jackets, and more. Visit them off Hamner in Norco or online at kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Join Ray Bass and his experienced coaching staff for sports training to become bigger, stronger, and faster. Athletes from all sports, boys and girls, are welcome. Plus, learn more about the Bass Private School at boosttrainingsystems.com. And Danny's Pizza in Yucaipa. Looking for the best pizza in the Inland Empire? Look no more. You'll find it at Danny's Pizza off of Yucaipa Boulevard. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get 20% off your next order. So the next time you're ordering pizza for your family or maybe your entire team, make sure it's Danny's Pizza.
8 on the shot clock for the Toreros. Horsemeyer driving to her right. Tangled up with San Antonio. Good defense there by San Antonio. Gets the ball back for CBU. Down by 10. Oleda drives inside. Scoop shot is good for Ane Oleda.
What a great season for California Baptist women's basketball. It was a great season, but in the WNIT, the opener against the University of San Diego, the Lancers came up short, and it concluded the great careers of 3 really good all-time Lancers in Ane Oleda, Georgia Dale, and Brittany Thomas from nearby San Jacinto. So congratulations to the Lancers on a great season for women's hoops. High school football here. We love high school football coaching news in the offseason, of course. Arroyo Valley has a new head coach, TJ Stanford from 29 Palms. And if you watch Sports Weekly Live on IEMG, we actually had, I was joking with Coach Stanford, we had his team, 29 Palms, on the show several times because they beat Rubidoux. We had highlights of that one. And then they beat A.B. Miller in the playoffs. We had highlights of that that one too. Now he's coming to Arroyo Valley. He wants to build that family connection with the Hawks. He's got a battle cry of Ohana, which means supporting one another like a family. Here's more with head coach TJ Stanford.
You know, you're coming off a 29 Palms program that actually beat some of our local teams here in the IE. We had highlights of your win against Rubidoux, and you saw A.B. Miller in the playoffs. You guys went to the semifinals. What do you think you did well at 29 Palms to get you guys deep into the playoffs that might still translate at a program like Arroyo Valley? Because I'm sure if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? You're doing some things well. It's going to carry over, hopefully, and kind of do something similar here.
I think the big thing that we did in 29 Palms, I'm a former player in 29 Palms. I grew up there. I think we have a really strong sense of family and kind of what we've done in the past couple of years because I've coached basketball and baseball at 29 Palms. We bring the whole family aspect, the Ohana aspect, and I think just bringing that to Arroyo Valley is going to be what's going to start the foundation of being able to build from there, and really excited to be around a new group of people. I love 29 Palms. Like I say, I'm from there, but just really, really excited to bring kind of what we do, and bring it to the IE.
Coach, you just touched on it, the Ohana, motto, the battle cry, whatever you want to call it. Can you go a little more in depth on what exactly that means and what it means for the culture of a high school football team?
So what it means for me personally is that I'm always going to be present in my players and in my community, in my school, and just showing that that there is a family aspect, and that's really where Ohana comes from. It is that it's not just your immediate family; it's everybody that's involved and that's helped you get to where you are. One of the big things moving into Arroyo is bringing my dad along with me. He's been there throughout a lot of my coaching, and obviously he coached me growing up, and just bringing the sense of, hey, we're all in this together.
That was head coach TJ Stanford of Arroyo Valley. For the complete interview, Stanford and I, we wrapped for about 12 or 13 minutes, talked about a lot of great things. Make sure you head on over to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. You will find the complete interview on there and airing on IEMG. And make sure you subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. We'll have some live games from the County Clash, the next one on April 2nd on IEMG. And finally tonight, man, we've got a track and field star here in the IE. This is our big boost play of the week. It is brought to you by Cajon's Seth Johnson. So the previous week, Seth went out to New York and won the Nike Indoor Nationals Pentathlon National Championship. Then he comes back to Cajon and he jumps 6 feet 9 inches in the high jump. He is now number 1 in the state of California right now. Seth Johnson is on hurdles, high jump, long jump. Man, this guy does it all. But right now in the CIF marks for the state, Seth Johnson is number 1, jumping 6'9". Congratulations to Seth Johnson. That is our big boost play of the week. Shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here at Teen Vision TV 16. Always getting it done. My name is Pep Fernandez. Make sure you follow or like or subscribe to Inland Sports, whether it's the YouTube channel or all of our social media platforms as well. We'd really, really appreciate it. My name is Pep Fernandez again. God bless you. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next week with another Inland Sports Show.